Please turn to page 7 of the prayer book.
Yeah, those for your beads. I didn't see them.
Howard.
Oh, okay. As long as you got it. That's the most important. Okay.
In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha. In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha. In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all sentient beings never be parted from sorrowless bliss. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from bias, attachment, and hatred. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When, O supreme among humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who were wise, then I prostrate. With pure bodies, formed supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With supreme signs, face like spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dust free like you, the 3 worlds are not, incomparably wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you, the one gone to thusness, I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dharma that pacifies, I prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you, the sublime community intending virtue, I prostrate. Homage to the Supreme Buddha. Homage to the Dharma refuge, homage to the great Sangha, to all 3 ever devout homage, to all worthy of respect, bowing with bodies as many as all realms, atoms in all aspects, with supreme faith I pay homage. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions, subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, mirage, the flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud. See conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the foe of faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. From Tushita's hundreds of God's protectors' heart, to tip of this fresh, pure white heat, curd like cloud, O Losandrapa, Dharma's omniscient king, pray come to this place with your disciples. In space ahead, on lion throne, lotus and moon, venerable Guru, smile brightly with delight. Pray stay hundreds of eons to spread doctrine as supreme merit. Feel for my mind of faith. Your wisdom mind sees full range of knowables. Your eloquent speech adorns fortunate ears. Your beauteous body, fame, glory, outstanding. Homage to you, worthwhile to think of, hear and see. Pleasant offerings of water, various flowers, fragrant incense, light perfume, and so on. Oceans of offerings set out and envisioned, offered up to you, supreme field of merit. Non-virtue committed with body, speech, and mind, which I have heaped up since beginningless time, especially what has contradicted three vows. Each I confess from my heart with strong regret. In time of strife you strove to learn and practice, shunned a mundane concerns, made life essence-full. O protector from depths of our hearts, we rejoice in your powerful great deeds. Venerable gurus from love and wisdom, clouds densely massed in your Dharmakaya sky, pray lucerain of vast profound Dharma on fields of disciples just as needed. May whatever virtue that I've here gathered bring benefit to all beings and doctrine, and may it make Venerable Losandravas essential teaching specially shine forever. Migme Tsewe Te Chen Chen Rezig Prime Kempe Wang Po Jom Pelyan Du Fu Manu Jon Se Song Wei Dog Gan Chen Kepe Song Gen Song Kapa Lo San Drop Ne Shabla So Wadem. O glorious and precious fruit Guru, pray take seed of lotus on my crown, caring for me with your great kindness. Bestow attainments of body, speech, and mind. O glorious and precious fruit Guru, pray take seed of lotus at my heart, caring for me with your great kindness. Bestow attainments common and supreme. O glorious and precious fruit Guru, pray take seed of lotus at my heart, caring for me with your great kindness, until supreme awakening remains steadfast. Homage to the exalted three jewels. Thus have I heard at one time the Blessed One was dwelling in Rajagri on Vulture Mountain, together with a great assembly of monks and a great assembly of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Blessed One was absorbed in the concentration of the countless aspects of phenomena called profound illumination. At that very time, the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, was looking perfectly at the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom, perfectly looking at the emptiness and inherent existence of the five aggregates also. Then, through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said to the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, how should a child of the lineage trained, who wishes to engage in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom? Thus he spoke, and the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, replied to the Venerable Shariputra as follows. Shariputra, whichever son or daughter of the lineage wishes to engage in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom, should look perfectly like this, subsequently looking perfectly and correctly at the emptiness of inherent existence of the five aggregates also. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form is not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, like this, all phenomena are empty, without characteristics, that is, they are not produced and do not cease. They have no defilement and no separation from defilement. They have no decrease and no increase. Therefore, Shariputra, in emptiness, there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compositional factors, no consciousness. There is no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visible form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, no mental phenomenon. There is no I element, and so forth up to no mind element, up to no element of mental consciousness. There is no ignorance and no cessation of ignorance, and so forth up to no aging and death, and no cessation of aging and death. Likewise, there is no suffering, no origin, no cessation, and no path, no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Therefore, Shariputra, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and abide in the perfection of wisdom, and because their minds have no obstructions, they have no fear. Passing utterly beyond error, they attain the final state beyond sorrow. All the Buddhas who reside in the three times by relying upon the perfection of wisdom become manifest and complete Buddhas in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, and complete enlightenment. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, equal to the unequaled mantra, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, since it is not false, should be known as the truth. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is proclaimed. Tayata gate gate per samgate bodhisoha. Shariputra, this is how a bodhisattva, a great being, should train in the profound perfection of wisdom. Then the Blessed One rose from that concentration and said to the superior Avalokiteshvara, the bodhisattva, the great being, well said, O child of the lineage, so it is. The profound perfection of wisdom should be practiced exactly as you have taught, and the Tathagatas will rejoice. When the Blessed One had said this, the Venerable Shariputra, the superior Avalokiteshvara, the bodhisattva, the great being, and the entire assembly, as well as worldly beings, gods, humans, demigods, Gandharvas, and others, were filled with admiration and highly praised what had been spoken by the Blessed One. In the holy supreme abode of the Dakinis, possessed of clairvoyance and miraculous power, unwaveringly caring for practitioners as your children, homage to the host of the three places Dakinis, Akasamara Sachadara Samaradape, Tayata Om Gate Per Samgate Bodhisoha. Through the power of the truth of the exalted three-jewel speech, may all on the side of negativity, such as the four Maras, be stopped. May they become non-existent. May they be pacified. All enemies, obstructors, and hindrances, Shante Furis Soha. The 80,000 types of obstructors pacified, free from adverse and harmful conditions. May all be conducive in perfect auspiciousness, bring happiness and well-being here, right now. Saji Pukhi Joshing Me Tong Tramri Rabling Ji Ni Degen Padi Sange Jingdu Mig Te Ua Yi Joku Nam Da Jin La Chur Pasho Jetsun Lama Dampa Kenam Yi Chugukala Kien Se Trindrine Jitat Sampe Duje Zima La Sadye Chokyi Chapa Tu So Idam Guru Ramanda Chodan Sogi Chognam La Jantru Padu Dagni Kyapsuji Dagi Chunyangi Pesonangi Drola Penche Songe Dropa Sho Chodang Soki Chognam La Jantru Padu Dagni Kyapsuji Dagi Chunyangi Pesonangi Drola Penche Songe Dropa Sho Chodang Soki Chognam La Jantru Badu Dagni Kapsuchi Dagi Chunyangi Pesonam Ki Drola Penche Songe Dropa Sho
Good evening. Now times change. The 7 o'clock, complete dark. Right? Now next couple weeks. No, this okay, Deborah. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Next couple of weeks then become 4 o'clock already dark. When is the change the time? Do you know?
What is that? What time is it?
Hmm? Yeah. Yeah, I heard that some people doesn't winter, some people doesn't see the sun.
Just like Alaska.
No, even here, yes. New York, Boston. But you guys see that, but people, they go to work early morning.
Or like a factory.
When they leave the work, they already dark. You husband like that? Yeah. You knew all the Lord does that. Anyway. What? Oh.
You're on the highway, there are signs were saying, watch for the wind.
Really? Oh.
And then you would rain.
Boston here? Maybe you guys can sleep here. Just sleep here. Yeah. Yeah, usually the monks sleep like that. Like 20 monks like sleep same room. Like that. Anyway, I want to set up to good meditation to benefit all Mother Samchin beings. Therefore, I'm going to study, practice meditation. We will do a little meditation, visualization in front of you, all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, all the holy beings in front of you. Then, couple times to breathing meditation. You're thinking, you're breathing in, breathing out, just follow that. Now, slowly think your body from head to whole body. Just relax. Just keep thinking your whole body. to recognize or feel that feeling. Doesn't matter, happy, sad, neutral. Just feel whatever you're feeling right now. Now, slowly recognize or find your own mind, the nature of the mind. When we recognize our mind, it's a good sign. You find your mind? Can you recognize your mind? Can you feel your mind? Now you can slowly come up. 도치네 양도 수수고직専門 trepa shungayina. 아니 다 야 보여로스. 아니 수수 샘 자체지 수수 샘야 무스마치.
And so this way, through meditation, if you can find out or identify your mind, it will be very good.
그러나 강조 딱 그대나 샘고 만체와 체니 아니 강조 아니 샘 노조지게 왕도 치네 강조 다 죽는로 되게로.
And so because of not identifying the mind and following the wrong mind, we end up creating all these wrong actions.
그래서 아니 샘고 tre서 빼는 것이 못 잡고 그래.
And so it becomes very important, to identify one's mind.
아니 샘고 tre가 체대다 간주고 또 빼셔만 못해. 다 냠냠시다 셔도 그러고.
So in order to identify one's mind, then we study all these texts, all sorts of different kind of texts.
그래서 간주 샘지라지 회사 와인 말이야. 샘지라지 러트미 shum에 와인 말이야.
So the nature of the mind is a clear light, and it's in its nature there is no stains.
그러와 인도 인바이나 다 단다 아니 묘모도 와체네 변나 묘모데스 변나 또 고전도 와이바이나 고제 까고도 이제 잡아지는 명이잖아. 때라 잡아잖아. 그 잡아도 봐 값이야로.
So, but because of the delusions, in our mind is all covered or obscured, by these delusions, just like a pure, bright white cloth. If you get some stain on it, then it becomes, it doesn't stay bright white anymore. It becomes something else. So that's how our mind has become.
이나 당한도 장수도 바지 둘로 잡아들이 nga도 작반 통야들이 좀도 둘로 잡아 작은 말로 와 이나 배나 construction 진행에 람발레 등에 두고 다 둘로 잡아 먹고도.
So you just change cloth every day that maybe you don't even see any stains on your cloth, any dirt stains on your cloth. But if you think of people who are working in a construction job, they get dust and all these stains on their clothes. So think of like that.
제자 되게 아니 줄로 잡아대는 수수 둘로 항실에 쉬고 말때 버트여요.
And so that dirt, on the cloth of the construction guy, is not in the nature of the cloth. It's just temporary there. If you put in the laundry, then it will be washed away.
대다다 되는 간도 남배겠다 쉬운 건 아니지. 남자고 좋은데 아니 섬지랑지 때 저마다 자료래 아니 저마다 가래 된데인다. 아니 뉴모나 타요래 아니 뉴모나 trabaina ani dungale thaya yores dochin le shijag yores.
And so just like that, the delusions, the stains of delusions in our mind are also temporary. And if we apply the right practice, to purify or to clear them away, then we can, free our mind of all these delusions.
뭐 근데 임바다 따뜻한 테리베 임바나 나서 미기 라제데 아니 딱가로 아니 체외가 하지 말했어. 아니 딱가로 세워봐야 되나? 피스 말 아니 체외가 하지 말했어. 라고 그랬어.
And also the scientists nowadays says the nature of human being is not violent.
근데 다테 영화대 아니 실록 게만 보지단 체 아니 소소 나게 샘든 툭 진짜만 뭐 삼보다 아니 단 주바용 그런 거.
But people become violent, because of meeting with all these different kind of external conditions, and also, the internal deluded minds.
제자 안에 산지 좀 내가 가서 샘제 참이게 잘 산지를 요래서.
So just like that,
괜찮나?
Buddha also says that all sentient beings have Buddha nature, which means a potential to become fully enlightened.
아니 대용도마다 깬다 제마테라 나를 요래서.
If we meet the right condition, we can be fully enlightened.
배전에 시찬에 간도 부상말라 빠와 용하기 있다 그러고 내셔서 그러면도 그러고 potential 요래서 아니 부모 상말라 아마 용하기 그때 요래서 이나다 그 깬다 제다 제모 최고 요래서 시찬에.
So like generally, like all the male, have a potential to become father, and all female has potential to become a mother. But just by father himself or mother herself cannot become father or mother, right? Has to meet with all sorts of conditions, to become a father or to become a mother, just like that.
오두 진의 삼로 땅에 삼말라 강들 아니 지금 알아서 샘지랑시 회사와 아니 녀모다 만대와 임바이나야 아니 지금 미 수수고 아니 샘지랑 샘라야 아니 샘 녀모 샘세 지다 아니 지 녀모다 만대와 샘 니와 지금 알아서 샘 녀모의 샘세 되게 왕의 체네 아니 코란쇼 체바인다 아니 딱 그디나야 샘 추대야 아니 지 샘락강에 되다야 샘락강에 대가 왕기 아니 링학 쇼와 남나 통용마다 연구여 봐.
And so our mind, is clear by nature, but temporarily it is disturbed, by the stains of the delusions. So, but these delusions are temporary, and they can be removed once, because our mind, is temporarily now controlled by these delusions. Therefore, our mind always thinks of all these wrong things or bad things, and then which makes us, to engage in the wrong actions, and which brings the result, as the suffering.
아니 다가나 신기 빼나 대인비가 젠틀라 빼나 가서 코로라고 사는 가서 코로 가디나 사대만 도왔어. 아니 지금 셈랑 차도라고 셈 맞지 와는데 가디나 대용만 도와.
And so the proof that it is not in the nature of the mind, those delusions, like the anger is not the nature of the mind, or jealousy is not the nature of mind, attachment is not the nature of mind. If it is a nature of mind, then it has to be there all the time. Like we don't become angry all the time, right? We get angry sometimes, then the anger goes away, and then we become jealous, about something, or about somebody, and but after some time it goes away. So that means it's not in the nature of our mind.
나 남주 곰 때문에 수수 셈거 아직도 간드레샤. 아니 수수 남주 지 셈고 지 지슨 로다가 셈도 간드레샤도 저 삼노다 내가도 셈모에서 제바이나 아니 다들 배워요.
And so usually, when you meditate, try to identify your mind. What is the nature of the mind? What kind of mind are the deluded minds? How do we separate them, from our actual mind and so forth.
다 나중에다 소소가 삼락강에라고 맞지원을 드려요나 뒤qab라야 대장장 삼락당만 되가 지간에 셴바데야 삼락당도와나 셈마지와데 라시오파 신도스러와.
And also, other times, when our mind, is not happy or we're facing some problems, then we should not be thinking about that unhappiness or that problem. If you think about instead of thinking about that, you think about something else, then you'll forget that mind. So that mind goes away.
다 나중에 남주 가디나 지금 잠바다 니제다 셴베고 삼바다 샹주고them 텐데 콜라야 손로마 스타마나 셈코나 텔레 공배왕 거야 가디나 티콜 반로데 가지 약보요래.
And also try to generate or develop mind, of compassion, love, and bodhicitta. So more we develop, more we become familiar with that. And as we become familiar, then now naturally, our mind will go towards that because we're more familiar, with that mind.
제당도 셈신들인데 오면은 간리나 수수 창로지 요까지 지잖아. 그래서 직대 가로 델파치 슈트나 가디나테 누르고 와.
So just like animals, like a bird, when some place becomes its nest or place of its residence, then no matter what, it still goes back to that. So it naturally goes to that. So because it's familiar with that place.
에테다가 가서 잘라는 거지. 가쇼는 가서 잘라는 거 나왔잖아. 그런데 잘라도 수 라팔 마요 발에 직대치네. 직 셈데 된 콜딩도 와.
And also, because we are so strongly familiarized or accustomed, with attachment, when we are attached to something, until we get that thing in our hand, we always think about that, think about it all the time.
아니 소수 라발라 잘라다 라트고라야. 든라카지 나와카지네. 야 텔라야지 가웨가 저한테 라로도 와.
And then after getting that thing in one's hand, then maybe you'll be really still be very excited about that thing for 1 week or 2 weeks. But after about a couple of weeks, then that interest fades away, right?
어떤데자 간제 든데기 가르치고는 간제 그 수수가 셈나 요목을 아직도 슈메 왔다도 시야 되고 그래.
And so anyway, so these are all the proof that shows the deluded minds are not in the nature of the actual mind.
어디 다 도시 든데다 간들 당가서 가디나 로종 체대 냠내 체대다 가리 수수 도도 가르치나 아니 수수가 셈들이야 체대 말이와.
So the purpose of doing all these studies about Buddhism and doing meditations and so forth is all to subdue one's mind.
제다 든데게 셈 저와다라 아니 다지 셈 저와다라 수수 삼모다네 진짜 삼모다네 르파다네 셈 저와다고 말이.
So in order to subdue the mind, you can't just subdue the mind like that. How you have to subdue mind by thinking about the reasons, right? And the methods, the ways, to subdue one's mind.
order. 어디 되네다 된대 영화라 아니 시고 시와라 투고 아니 투와라 당도 로종 체가 되네다 나도 되네다 로종만 보고 체가 그래서.
So in order to know how to do that, how to apply that method, or how to do that, we have to know how to do that. In order to know, we have to study. So this is the reason why we are studying, to know that.
대다 가서 남도 좋은 세지지 주자다 하는 거로 무지 다서 말해 대당도 시에서 말했어.
So anyway, we're going back to our main subject now, on the 70 topics. So we were talking about the 110, right? Categories, of the complete aspect application. Is it 110 or 173?
Yeah.
Aspects, yes.
대다 당한도
남경기
남께서 주자다 줘.
자다치 어디다.
다들 가서 시당 강시에서 단단한 말을 전화단도 좀 고추고 말했어 와. 다 가서 정가도 잡서다 되게 샤는 가지 아무나 대신 마보 있자고 대신 마보는 거 될 반충도 나도 마보 맞나 주주님께 자야스 게임도 고해들 말했어.
And so we already counted all this, right? 110 topics. Well, 100.
That's actually a question I have about the numbers. Why does it need?
It's just a number.
Well, no, we're just doing the 110. Why aren't we doing the first 27, 36, and 100? What? We're not doing the first 27, 36. We're just doing the 110. So it's because they were covered earlier. No aspect, there's no basis.
Oh, I see.
가서
We're not doing those too. We're only doing the 110.
가서
I think it's just the order that they do it. They do the 37 that are common to both the.
먼저 네 시식이
Why we didn't do the 27, 36, it makes it 73.
시식인 넘버. 아니 가서 뉴스 잡든죠.
아니
아니 람식인 넘버 가서 정아.
30섭디
말해.
30소득
숨소리를 해.
30다득
어래 숨소리죠.
아니
아니
안티라다 남지가 남자도 줘.
남편 남자 자다주. 뒤전에다 던지던 소리를 해.
되게 던지 돈 잡아다.
So we're talking about the 173 aspects of the complete aspect application, right? And so when you like break down, then there are the only 27 of the know basis, and then there's a 36 of the know path, right? And then 110 of the know of all aspect.
But this number four topic, does it cover the no or base and no past that because it was covered earlier?
Oh, I see.
Why are they skipping this to the 110?
다들 나가도 자도 준사스는 책임도 왔어. 자도 준사스는 더 남긴 넘버 자도 주마도 지기 아니 시시 넘버다 남시 넘버의 책임도 왔어. 대관에 몰라 셔사 되려서.
남시대 지금 강시에다 봐. 아니 지시에당 남신이디 강라야 아니 갑당보당 갑니바가 남시셔 버려.
남게는 갑당보 시스 말이야.
갑당보시나 그 거제 남신 퇴직이지. 시단 대인지 대대 지신 퇴직이 지자도 지시를 와서. 그래 너도 좋아. 너도 좋아서 했던 퇴직하다 냠들은 자도 지요래. 다 될거나 아니 켐바들 파잖아 시기 그래서. 그 켐바들 내가 시에서 그자 말했어. 대시에 맞아 그자 말했어. 남도 좋아요. 나도 좋아한테 나는 자다 안 되죠. 나 가는 다든 켐바들 파잖아 시기 그래서.
다들 뭐해야 되던데 시시에다 남신이라 이제 가서 개부시면도스.
알레레.
남편의 집으로 개부시도스.
다들 그런 전주에 많이 오고 있잖아요. 열 많이 오고 있잖아요. 도시에로 와.
Yeah, it's not because it is already explained before. I mean, all this also the first chapter, right? The first chapter or first category talks about the know of all aspect. It's already explained there also, right? And then second chapter talks about the know of path, and then there's a third one is the know of the basis, and then fourth one is the complete aspect application, right? So anyway, so complete application, is just all this application or preparation, for achieving these paths, the know of the basis, know of path, and know of all aspect. And it's not because those two earlier are explained, but it's just there's not much to talk about that anyway. On the know of the aspect of know aspect that is know basis, and know aspect that is know path. And there's just giving also in the know of know aspect that is exalted know of all aspect. 110 is all again just breaking down into like categories also. So it's not really going into details. So again, like Geshe said earlier, it's kind of difficult, to like go through all of them in the details. But if you don't go through them, then it's very difficult to understand again. And so like we're just counting the numbers now.
다나지게 되면 남친도 자나 제대양 아메 샤주 선발하게 봐 제단 담바 아니 너무 많이 남치가 남바도 고카가 양식도 왔어.
And so just count the number. If you try to understand the meaning of each of them, it will be very difficult. There's no way. You have to go through the whole text, the commentary of all these texts, right? It's so difficult. So just count the numbers. So just remember know the numbers and know the aspects that they're talking about here. So also when it talks about the no aspect, that is the exalted no of all aspect, and then 110. So just like similar to those existing in the hearers, and then similar to those existing in the bodhisattvas, and then unique, to the Buddhas only.
아니 또도 단들이 강할마 아니 지금 덴바실라 하잖아시 아니 대내 아니 그런 거 샤초 소된 하잖아시 아니 지금 산지가 근데 파신 조다 아니 산지 코랑 거기도 연달아잖아요. 만남을 시작했어.
And so here it's explained in the application with the Four Noble Truths, the six, the 37 branches of enlightenment, 6 perfections or 10 perfections, and the unshared qualities of the Buddhas himself.
어두전에 다 마판에 용걸 단도서 간제 레라고 고쳐야 되는 말다 가서노 정확 고나 가서 로컬 가셔야 됐죠.
So these are all explained in details in the commentary, of course, but it's just going through here to understand them all is very difficult. So we just go through the numbers.
Okay. 다 대셔도 다 들이 아니 땅한도 좋아서 시간에 좋아서 돼. 가서 남치 도시 주디 셔서 너도 좋아서 주잖아 셔서 다 되올라죠. 조당 집에 가서. 아집에 가서 간등이세 때문에 돈이 남미에 실어준지 실어지 선배선배 나줘도 간등이세 때문에 소주엔지 달라야나.
조조.
다들 막 준대셔 줘도. 좋아 차도 되셔도.
And so the next one, second one is the principal applications, right? Principal application that's explicitly indicated in this context. So let's read that together, just that part, the second part only, after the third part.
Is that 30?
Yeah, page 30.
Thank you.
Page 30, yeah. The principal applications explicitly indicated in this context. Okay, so in the context of, along with the applications, the definition of application as explicitly indicated in this context is a bodhisattva's yoga conjoined with the wisdom that is the union of calm abiding and special insight, observing emptiness explicitly indicated in this context. When divided, there are 20. The application not abiding on forms or forms of. The application that stops abiding. The application of profundity. The application of the difficult to fathom. The application of the imaginables. The application that realizes emptiness over a long period of time and with a great difficulty. The application that the application of irreversibility. The application of definitely emerging. The application without interruption. The application close to enlightenment. The application of soon become a Buddha. The application of others' welfare. The application realizing that ultimately there is no increase and decrease. The application to seeing phenomena is ultimate. The application not seeing inconceivable forms and so forth. The application not conceiving form and so forth, their definition and the entities of their definition and truly existent. The application issuing for the citizens. The application of complete purity and the application of boundaries. It is said because form and so forth do not abide because of stopping the applications in that, because their thusness is profound, because they are difficult to fathom, because they are imaginable, because of realizing slowly with a great difficulty, because of prophecy, because of irreversibility, definitely merging without interruption, enlightenment, soon, others' welfare, no increase and no decrease, not seeing phenomena, non-phenomena, and so forth, not seeing inconceivable forms and so forth, not conceiving forms and so forth, their definitions and their entities, issuing forth a precious result, and that the purity along the Buddha boundaries. Its boundaries are that it exists from the heat level of the Mahayana path of preparation through the end of the continuum of sentient being.
Okay, tak chu ke kong des.
You understand?
제가 단데 녀도 사원데 저 레랭 대시 자고는 텔레 바뇨 스타이치. 맞는 것도 계획 고면 왔어.
And so if we don't go through the explanation, of course we don't understand, right? And if we go through the detailed explanation, then it's even more confusing.
봐. 아니 나도 패지 다 나오면 뭔가 되네. 녀진데. 데이터 다 강상하던데 투비 바샤 샤그레스 간다.
And so just by reading like that, we'll leave imprint in our mind, hearing it.
단 데라야 아니 여기 뉴슈작은도 왔어. 뉴슈도 죽은도 왔어. 뉴슈도 왔어. 아니 데라 아니 딱 뭐고네 만다와 nga샤 그랬어. 그렇죠. 딱 뭐고네 만다와. 세단도 다 돈이 도벨로 장장로 그랬어. 가다 돈이 도벨로 장장고 그랬어.
And so it says when divided there are 20, right? When divided there are 20. So actually in a division, there's in terms of the entity there are 5. So it actually is all emptiness. It's all talking about emptiness.
아니 돈이라 미베다 간지 샹좀 초롱베지 냠네 조롱베지니 시간지 샹좀 초롱 조롱 토롱 고롱 물론하고 빠디 냠네 전jal을 하는 로요레스
Jolam is Jolam.
조롱네
Jolam Turner though.
아니 조롱 트레네 산지게 사파다 자그레스
So all the way from the heat level of the Mahayana Pada preparation, all the way to the end of the continuum of sentient being. This is the practice, done by these practitioners, from the heat level of the Mahayana Pada preparation, all the way to the end of the continuum, meditating on emptiness. So the focusing on emptiness, of such and such object. So you just focus on the emptiness of the sense object and then just meditate on that. So this is all talking about meditation on emptiness of different objects.
아니 변다 근데다 다 무고네 코나소인 건데 로 만다 같은데 nga샤 그래서 무고 만다 nga샤 그래서.
So in terms of the entity, there are 5.
아니 따땡 강사 시드들이 강사 만다 봤다 제 강사 걸 마샤들이 제샤 그래서.
And in terms of the person, there are 8.
아니 다 조바다 아니 다 탑 가래거든 드리고는 시작을 했어.
And then in terms of the method, there are 4.
아니 나는 드레바다 아니 뒤세고는 숨시작을 했어.
And in terms of time and result, there are 3.
아니 다 대게 뉴스다 봤던 건데.
So that makes the 20. Is that right?
이나 지나다다 도나 쇼에 나한테 빼자랑은 나 아니 지금 장가서도 대다 올 자와스인도 대대선 자고 말했어. 자베 나라 뉴슈여리 장가 나라 뉴슈라고 말해. 지라고 말했어.
장가 뉴슈도 있다.
장가 뉴슈 지진도.
뉴슈도.
미네야. 딘센이 대라 있는데 뉴슈도 돼.
뉴슈도.
아, 이래.
당보도 가래 속라 미네바서. 속솔라 미네바.
알레레는 타마데 교시요. 세제를 또 받아 되잖아. 세제를 또 받아 지을 때 있는 주사. 모델도. 어들 단도 자야 돼. 안에 가르서 나까지 안에 zugne 남치 받아 주담 줬다. 미베다 받좀 맞다. 안에 들려자는 거 요레스.
And so anyway, so it's all again, like I said, meditating on the emptiness of certain objects. So the objects, itself from form to enlightenment, from form to omniscient mind. So that includes everything.
Okay. 아니 베나 담보들한테 주소라 내가 까비셔와 나 아니 주소 덴바트바 까비셔와 덴바 마트바 안 삼백을 로지라 자기 그랬어.
And so it says application not abiding on forms and so forth. So like that means avoiding the emptiness, avoiding the true existence, and on the form and so forth.
Okay. 근데 다 뭐거나 말아봐도 배나 안에 대란 내바까 비셔와 사비셔와 티브라까 비셔와 템비셔와세 아니 너도 내가라 아니 딱 뭐거나 나가서 들어야지 담봉한테.
So the first 5, the application not abiding on the forms and so forth, application that stops abiding, application of profundity, application of the difficulty of fathom, and the application of the immeasurable. So these are in terms of the nature or the entity.
Okay, and the chazam mache and shasatea and karo what they teach. And that Sansamlaya Tigalama, Tenji Kasa Gunis, that do machine Zamala, and it Kasa Sigela, such a kawaii and such a then a kawaii shade.
And then in terms of the person, in terms of the place, where it is, in whose mind it is, and so forth.
And the general, and Lite Tobi Jova, Shimo Dobi Jova, Gabran Juve Jova, Pachamibi Jova, and those only Shansam Sono, Jono Tesu Shila and the Madores.
To what
Mangosuni.
To what
And Lite Tobi Jova. Lite Tobi Jova there. And then Temibi Jova.
The one to take Holla?
Temibi Jova.
Temibi Jova, Jellic book. Because during Boop.
Tejeri Tobi Jova.
Oh, Tejo.
Oh, Tejeri Tobi Jova, Tig Jova, Tanging it, Simati Ladere. Tendina then Kumojima, Tig Jova, Chan Sonon Yoguris, Sonone. Then the Santam said, "That's contract matters. Canning is a thing to watch and a Jolomine. She don't mind. Teaching to watch what there's some Solon the Chagres. Techimbo, Yerimbo, Nekaji Kalijakoti. Sanjay to which it.
So, in terms of let's skip the number 6 and number 7. Says the application that attains prophecy, the application of irreversibility, the application of definitely emerging, and the application without interruption. So those are applied to the 4 levels now of the path of preparation: the heat, heat, peak, forbearance, and supreme dharma. Right. So the 4 levels, and then so this one here, the 6th, the application that realizes emptiness over a long period of time and with difficulties, with great difficulty. So this one, this is a little bit different, from Tibetan text. It is not, the 6th, the division. It's actually it comes at the end, and so that's why this one is referring to the path of path of accumulation. So when you are in a path of accumulation, the application that realizes emptiness over a long period of time and with great difficulty is actually applying to the path of accumulation. And so that's why it is a little bit strange, about the boundary when it says, from the path of preparation, the heat level of the path of preparation, all the way to the continuum, the end of the continuum of sentient being.
And the tea Holma and little to be Jova, Shimo to be Jova, Gabran Juve Jova, Pachami Jova, Shanche, Pachami Jova, Jetea, and Jono Tesu Chagres. The letter. Tati Hola. And the Shangela Neve Jova, Neva Tommy Jova, and the Tambone, and the Sajawa, Goa, Jova, and the Damnadores.
And then the application close to enlightenment, the application soon becoming a Buddha, the application of others' welfare, all this, is applied after the path of seeing, like from the first ground.
Okay, and the Tennis, what that to Chene, and the tattoo Chene, and Santamji Jova, Chokyi, Sajidoa. And that's a go watch one, and the Satan Shagates.
And then, so actually there should be, if according to the boundary from the heat level of the path of preparation all the way to the final continuum of the sentient being, there has to be only 19 divisions. So when you apply the 6th one, the 20 division, then the boundary doesn't really fit in there, because that is referring to the path of accumulation.
Okay,
and so anyway, so these are all the mind realizing emptiness within the continuum of the bodhisattvas, and the path of accumulation, path of preparation, path of seeing, and path of meditation.
Okay,
so that's about the principal application.
Okay.
And now the next, is the third one is the excellent qualities of the application.
That there is Joatanizina, Joatala, and their conditions. Theodolani, Joat Chevala, Padashu, General Carriers, and they but Janishagas.
And then, so now this is, if that is the practice, so what is the then benefits of this practice, right? The application, or the preparation. And then in the next one, it talks about if there are interruptions or obstacles that causes one to not achieve those realizations, then what are they? So then it talks about the faults of application.
Okay, that is your lotion.
Okay, so let's read these two, third and fourth category. So in the context of the excellent qualities, the definition of excellent qualities of a Mahayana application is a beneficial quality attained through the power of cultivating a Mahayana application, which is the means of attaining it. When divided, there are 14. The excellent qualities of Maharaj by the force of cultivating an application, the excellent quality of authorization and being known by the Buddhas, the excellent qualities of being directly seen by the Buddhas, the excellent qualities of nearing enlightenment, the excellent qualities of great meaning, great results, great benefit, great fruition, and so forth, the excellent quality of making use of places, the excellent qualities of fulfilling all uncontaminated, the excellent qualities of becoming one who performs, quality of indivisible by the adversaries, the excellent qualities of generating uncommon roots of virtue, the excellent qualities of accomplishing aims exactly as promised, the excellent qualities of thoroughly holding vast fruit, the excellent qualities of accomplishing the welfare of sentient beings, and the excellent qualities of definitely attaining the mother. It is said overwhelming, the mother and so forth, are the 14 types of the excellent quality. It is boundaries that it exists from the minor path of accumulation through the Buddha ground. The force of application. In the context of the faults, the definition of fault of application, Mara's actions that interferes with either the productions, abundance, imposition of an implication. When divided, there are 14. From attaining with great difficulty through generating the liking of there are 20 adverse conditions and obligations based on oneself, 23 incomplete conducive conditions based on others, oneself or others, and the 3 adverse conditions based on others. It is said the faults are definitely to be understood as 6 along with the 4 sets of 10. It is boundaries that it exists from the period to entering the month.
Okay, finish. Okay, ta pena jo yes.
I just want to ask, what is number 3? Means directly seen by the Buddhas.
Kase,
Somebody,
kare sumba.
the Yunde, Joe Yunde Sumba, Joe Yunde, because you somebody, Sangi Sibas, Sangi Mosu Sibas.
제다 안에 다 산지가 공거래서 산지가 하고그래서 하는 것까지 장기 연대 때때 냠네 치와이나 지난 그 때 치가 와 산지가 싱거린 챙겨서 하는 거래 시당 챙도 삼은 챙겨서 와서 다 이제는 산지 공부하셔야 돼 배나 산지 응에서도 잡아서 돼 야지 공부하셔야 돼.
So when you have that qualities, it will be seen by the Buddha. Of course, Buddha sees everything. Everything that you have is seen by Buddha. But like when you have that kind of quality, that will be a kind of recognition, by the Buddha, saying, "Oh, the person has such and such quality like that."
It's more of if the quality is there versus if the Buddha can see it.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Could you talk about number 14, the excellent quality of definitely attaining the mother?
그래서
줍시버디.
which one 주시봐.
유모스 토바세. 가서 예바 토바세.
which one?
줍시버디.
연대네.
줍시버디. 유모스 토바세.
알레레. 이제도 그랬고 오늘 될.
What do you understand?
The mother is the Prajnaparamita.
That's how I saw it.
Ah.
Prajnaparamita. Yeah, I saw it the same way.
셔리 파르시 바 니브라시 바 대다나 신조 말로 바 응브라시 바 지비 토바시. 간에 셔리 파르시 셴바 아니 다 토바곤 주바 근데 거더라 네 염세대 아니 셔지 받다 심받더라셔 아니 대녀 바래서 고아래서
Yeah, so that's what is referring to the professional wisdom. Yeah, Prajnaparamita.
Thank you.
근데 되게 연대는 녀가 돼서 셔시가 연대는 녀 바래서 고고서
So that you'll achieve, you'll soon achieve, you'll definitely achieve the realization of the professional wisdom.
아니 배나 담보되나 배나 듣지 가로 저 듣진 투준비되나 아니 지난기 저와도 공부해나 아니 상지가 저 진실 남네야 아니 지난라 바치게 주도 말해서
So if you, the first one, right? So if you the excellent qualities of overcoming the strength of the maras by the force of cultivating an application.
그래서 상지가 신질랍 그래 사대
So you want to be blessed by the Buddha.
그러와 아니 제가 대신지 좋아한다 좀나 심나 셰시진 돌아 제가 저랑이 연된도 공부해나 아니 센들라 아니 저랑라 가로 바치도 봐 마요 와제 바치도 봐 좀지 아니 심마야 아니 셰신데 내버린 좀 셰실라 가오시 완전 용거래세 용거서 봐.
So because of that application, you'll be blessed by the Buddhas, and even in the next life, you'll have the blessings or like interest to engage in the practice of the professional wisdom.
간다 다 느리게 좋아서 간지 똥반이한테 곰바 있나? 아니 텔라테네 아니 수수고 날마도 예대 뭐 톱도 영화 아니 텔라테네 받쳐 뭐 생각을 해서 내 거고 있는 거.
So this is when we talk about the application here, is like meditation on emptiness, right? Meditating on emptiness, and so through that, and then you will achieve all these qualities that you have never had before, and you'll be overcome all these obstacles or hindrances.
너와 대단한데 요가 예된데 요가 곰발에 톱고는데 요가 곰발라 때네 아니 예된데 톱고 그래서.
So these excellent qualities are achieved through meditating on these applications.
그런다 아니 다 요가 예데 곰비가 예된다 다 아니 손남네 산지가 세pat 차상 요래서.
And so these qualities, you achieve, through meditating on the application. You have all the way from the path of accumulation all the way to the Buddha ground.
다 냠는데 오고 막 다들마다 장가를 다 로나 가지 가서 미신 레세자 가지 인전데 동반이라 자네 아니 동반이라 파자 열로 추자 열치라 파자 근데 자자하지 내용 저랬어.
And so these are all again meditation, on the on emptiness. So meditating on emptiness, applying to the object of the emptiness or the subject, which meditates on emptiness and so forth.
그러와 아니 대고만 아니 사조 소소 산지가 공부라야 년도 같다. 아니 대신 샤바나 제완 제와다. 아니 소소 샤바나 가리나 셰토와다. 아니 저반이 아니 녀도 조바나 되는 게 다 얘네 제바요래로.
And so it's like it's said here, right? When we meditate on this application again, which means it's meditating on emptiness, right? And so if you do that, then you have all these benefits. You'll overcome all the obstacles. You become closer to the Buddhahood, and all your wishes will be accomplished, and so forth.
아니 지난 거 염지하다. 아니 로야나 변에 지난 거 로고여 봤다. 염세대 디 아니 남라 고쳐 그래서 양디 염세대 예 셰시진도 제자시 배셔들 고쳐 디배야도 소소고 로바 지와 가르지나 게 발랍 좀 더 그래서.
And so this mother here is referring to again the profession of wisdom. And so if you read, write, or hear, you accumulate a great amount of merit.
대담은 배는 가서 고단라 수트라 로고여 봤어. 바지 대형분은 로고여 봤어.
And so here, a mother doesn't necessarily only profession of wisdom sutra, and it can also like Golden Light Sutra. It can be a mother.
오케이 아니 된도 지와다 로바다 라반창주 아니 개와데 다 썸님 못 잡아야 말해.
And so the virtue or the merit accumulated through reading, writing, or even like touching, is inconceivable.
제가 대전에 엔달람버서 그러면 지금 아니 세르기가 아니 뒤치고도 왔어.
And So that's the reason why Rinpoche is requesting to write this Profession of Wisdom Sutra all in gold, with a pure gold.
Okay? 어디 다 진짜 도도로 버들 다 가지 진짜 도도 가지 아니 덴디가 아니 동반이 네 좋아서 다 가지 동반이 또베 셔럽대 소소 공부 있나 아니 텔라테니 다 소소건 데데 참만 접거래 장도 고고다 도도로 것이.
And so the basic thing is that if we meditate on emptiness in this way, and then we will achieve all these results.
다 도도가 다 죽다 저저 참말 있는 거 아니 다 돈이 공고 그래서.
So we can meditate on emptiness of every object, like we can meditate on emptiness of a form, of a sound, of a smell, and so forth.
배낭도 암조 달라치는 잡았지 그래서.
So, for example, we will have attachment, towards the sounds, right? We have attachment towards the sounds.
아니 다 가르다 미시에 줄라치는 잡았지 그래서.
With the ear consciousness, right? With the ear consciousness, and then with the eye consciousness, we have attachment towards the forms.
아니 나시 달라치는 잡았지 그래서.
And then the nose consciousness, towards the smells or fragrance.
아니 제시에 아니 다 롤라치는 잡았지 그래서.
And then the tongue consciousness towards the taste.
아니 리시에 레자라치는 잡았지
And
그래서.
then the body consciousness towards the contact.
어찌나 대인 된리가 잡아도 도야 체다 이진에서 되 공고 그래서. 공다데.
And so in order to avoid that attachment or overcome that attachment, then you have to meditate on the emptiness of these objects.
배 지나서 섬 쇼치치 따다 배나 지나서 배나 나서 달라 잡배나 단님보는 나서 다시 이득쇼 가오이로 다들래요.
And for example, like you are attached, you can be attached, to a very pleasant sound, right?
아니 디 다다 소소를 간지 로이 시작하는 로 간지 작은 도스.
So
나도
that
간지를
sound,
다 냠발라도 간지를 다 냠발라도 도스.
so that sound that you think it is a pleasant, right? How does that sound appear to you? Yeah. And how do you recognize something as a pleasant sound and something as unpleasant sound?
배나 미지를 지나 미 약보 누구라는 디 다든 게 냠부쇼요레스.
So like for example, if someone says you are a good person, then that sound is a pleasant sound, right?
미지 지나 약보 문들라는 디 다든 가도 다 미니마 차로 그래서.
And if somebody says you are a bad person, then that sound is an unpleasant sound.
얘나야 미디 지나 약보 누르는 저 약보 차려다 저 미디 저 두가 누르는 저 두가 차로 요 말어 왔어.
But just because somebody said you are good doesn't mean you are good, right? Or just because somebody said you are bad doesn't mean you are bad.
또 이번에 수수가 아니 간전 티고 데마트버서 덴데 티고 왕게 다 땡겨 봤다는 거예요.
But because of our deluded mind, ignorant mind, we think that that's how we are. If somebody says we are bad, then we think, oh, I'm very bad. I'm bad. Or if somebody says I'm good, then I'm good, like that. So, but it's not necessary. But in our mind always thinks that that's how it is.
그러와 미지게 배는 간도 저랑 걸 라치는 간도 라치 말어 왔어.
So it's the same as saying like, oh, you have a horn on your head. If somebody says you have a horn on your head, will you have a horn on your head?
간지 간도 주다트로 레자텔라 차지. 되게 왕기 가디나 간도 다치 잠도 못 거는 되게 와.
So, but in our mind, that's how really it is. Even though there is no horn on the mind, but if somebody says there's horn in your head, you become irritated, right? And so just like that. So we are very, wrongly observing towards those objects.
어제는 다들이 좀 곰자거든. 남주 곰자거든 배나 소소술라 간이 작은로 달라 간이 저rol라 간이 해서 곰자거.
So like that.
대찬 팅은 다 되게 이진에 소소 가리인 바 곰도 시작으로 그래.
So we have to meditate on the nature of those sounds, right? So pleasant sounds and the unpleasant sounds. So on the form and the smell, on taste, everything. So we have to meditate on those natures.
어떤지도 곰자와나 아니 산지 공파라 녀완도 봐. 아니 소소고 땡주면 되고 저거 토고를 해서.
And so if you meditate in that way, then then through that application, you will become closer to Buddhahood. Then all your wishes will be accomplished and so forth.
다 하나 지금 소소고 지금 딱 그러고 소소까지 떼어 담아 차도 그래서.
So you will become a holy person.
아니 소소고 담 가르쳐와나 다 하나 인접도 그래서.
And so whatever you promised, will be able to accomplish.
보다 tenzo 용사 차상게 싸와디 아니 돈이 또 별로 다 차그래 두요레스.
And so all these benefits you get is through meditating on emptiness.
오케이. 어디 다 되게 요 예대 간지 네가 아니 상주고 좀 시작해요 말은 네가 또 돈이 또 벌써 시작도 시작돼요 그래서
And so this is about the qualities, excellent qualities, of the application. And it's not talking about bodhicitta here, it's all talking about emptiness, right? The realization of emptiness.
지금 무슨 인주 상접 삼라 콤션제 스비 자와치 반면에 대시 땡데 도베 탈람베서 지요
So just like Lama Tsongkhapa said in his Three Principles Aspect of the Path, and even if one has meditated or familiarized with the renunciation and bodhicitta, one will not be able to cut the root of the cyclic existence. For that, one has to strive to understand the dependent origination.
다 되게 돈이 도베 탈람베 땡데 도베 탈람베서도 되는 거지 그래서요.
And so instead of saying strive on understanding emptiness, he said strive on understanding dependent origination. So there is again significance or meaning for that.
아니 땡데 세데 아니 두바 두드럽세시 마티니 메바세시 두드럽상도 아니 마치 소소고 론이 봐 소샤와지 단단히 봐고 그래서
So because when we say dependent origination or dependent arising, so something comes or something originates by depending on so and so. Like it's not created by one's mind, or it's not created by somebody else from outside. It all depends on causes and conditions. So it arises by depending on other causes and conditions.
제가 남중에서 동반녀다들 뭐보셔야 되고 왔다 누구기 돈두고 저발라 아니 땅가도 아니 저바 잡네 아니 샹치 돈이 또고와 아니 돈이 간이 또고 되는 거다 말가도 남빌 남람 다도 만드네 저지 시험 걸 봤어 단두조 따완도 조샤 걸 봤어.
And so this is again based on these ones here, right? On this text, then we talk about always understanding the interdependent origination or the emptiness, just like it is explained in the Lamrim text, and the basis of that, practice or teaching is based on these texts here.
그리고 네가 배는 우도지 따와더라 우도지를 봤어. 남도는 우도지도 따와서 로조도는 나도 연구 말했어.
And so this is actually sort of a commentary, right? A sort of commentary to the Ornament of Clear Realization. So it all came from Ornament of Clear Realization. And then again, the Lambrim, all teachings on the Lambrim, or Graduate Path to Enlightenment, all comes from, all as an explanation of these texts.
와, 다 듣는 거 간지 요와도 공부하는 간지 수수고 된 간지 접근 거기는 접근을 해서 빼면서 다 얘네 좀 송도 왔어.
And so it says if the quality of accomplishing aims exactly as promised. All these are like very significant.
오케이. 다들 다 되올라. 다 듣는 거 연대 치면 다대 고나도 지나지라 제일 쫀도 요래. 그 받치되는 요래는 아니 저 있게 되시 그래서.
And so then it talks about the faults of the application. 저거 그런 게 좀 많아 가서도 저와라.
저 깨워라. 저 도저히 좋아.
So does it sound like a faults of application? The application has a fault? Huh?
It sounds like it from the way it's written.
Right, exactly, right? So, but it's talking about the obstacles, for achieving this application. So it's talking about the obstacles, right? The obstacles that prevents one from achieving these applications.
오케이. 그래다 다 뒤에보다 가지는 조지나 어떤 게 연대 전지 요와도 지야라 대 지와라 받아 주지가 받치려고 가르가려서 나다 되는데 요래서 아니 가로 들리십시 말아야 돼. 십시룩.
And so if there is such an excellent quality to this application, that is there any problem achieving these qualities? Yes, there are so many, 46 of them.
그러와 어디 다내 차선을 세거는 텔레뇨라 살지.
So it's talking about all these three, like this, 20 adverse conditions of application based on oneself, 23 based on oneself or others, and then 3 based on the condition based on adverse conditions based on others.
오케이. 어디 다 아니 단디 조이 께서 간지래 단디 간지고 그래서 나니 그러와
Why aren't they listed? Yeah, why aren't
Yeah.
they there?
Hmm?
Yeah, I was just saying, it would have been interesting to see those listed out.
Are they listed there?
No. Just
They're not
20,
there.
23, and 3.
That's all you need to know.
All set.
So we just have to guess what they are.
No, it would have been interesting,
You
fascinating.
can in the
in the commentary, yes.
Check the link? Okay, thank you.
There's commentary.
It's not, it's in the study guide you put up there?
I print-
It's there.
It's not just the translation, but,
No, no, it's like that in the Tibetan text too. Yeah.
다 간제 안에 다 리다 나가 냉엘도 소식으로서 리다 나가 냉엘에 그러와 리지 냉엘에 가려요래 아니 샘지 냉엘에 가려 리지 냉엘에 맨날 다 두시네 된다 간제 조 곰발라 깔이 잡고 그러왔어 근데 저거 다 가도 리지 간에 깔이 잡고 말 텔 리지 냉엘에 그래서
So there's the faults, the faults of body, faults of speech, and faults of mind. Like in order to meditate on the application, you have to work hard physically, right, from the body, through body. Physically you have to work hard, but because we are not able to do that, so those are obstacles, from the body.
다 나지게 샘고 변나 공자 변나 알아서 변나 장서 변나 드라마 사칭이나 드라마 사칭 되면 걸로 샘도 대토가 도서 막 도고 말한 거죠.
So then the faults of the mind, is like all kinds of distractions, like when you're reciting 21 praises to Tara. So one set of 21 praises to Tara, will you be able to focus your mind, on single-pointedly on one object all the time, all throughout that time? Very difficult, right? And so our mind will be always distracted. So that's the fault of the mind.
어때 리당이 냉을 되네. 다 나지 아니 대화 친구 아니 냠래 냠벽이죠. 아니 다 나게 대화 팀지 냠래 셔발라 아니 이해하겠죠. 도치는 다 도도 루루로 치는 뜻이 온 거래서.
대화 좀 그래?
냠래 많이 냠벽이죠. 아니 대 냠래 셔발라 야이 셴발라 인도겠죠.
And so there's the fault of degenerating the practice, the Mahayana practice, and also there's the faults of being strayed away from the Mahayana practice.
오케이. 어두스래 되는데 다 전화도 대신에 냠이 이제 가는 자들아. 배자다. 대신에 이외 이제 가는 자들이야.
Yeah. So what kind of example can you give, of like being degenerated, from the Mahayana, for Mahayana practice, being degenerated? How do you degenerate the Mahayana practice, and how do you get away from or strayed away from Mahayana practice? Can you give an example? Think of an example.
제가 다 가도 좀 장가자다 장가자면 대신에 가도 냠력게 고무다. 단들더니 가도 냠력이 되더라고 그래서.
And so if
Abandoned bodhicitta.
어?
Abandoned bodhicitta.
How you been then bodhicitta?
Abandoned bodhicitta, so no concern for others' welfare.
Stay with friends.
Stay in.
Don't think about these things.
You just strive for liberation for yourself. That would be abandoning.
so 지구체도 된 타바던 연락해 봐.
Okay. Any other things?
I'll work for everybody's enlightenment except his, because I don't like it.
제가 뭐다 들려줘. 야, 저락 제 장수 저 들려서 배는 남중어도 라고요 와. 로종 냠내 제와 옛날에 아니 남부 가린 냠내 제와 옛날 다 마부 시에 왔다. 다 짜와 주토도 그런데 저 짜와된 내 마음에 시작이 그랬어. 이제.
So yeah, so all of the examples that you gave is correct. So whatever is explained in the Lamrims, and other many Lamrim teachings. So this is all based on these teachings, on the 70 topic or Ornament of Clear Realization.
오케이. 들이다 답변은 가리 냠도 배는 알아서 배는 대화 전부 그 아니 다 샘슈다 빼면도 샘슈 침보러 왔어. 다때 되다게 누구 때문에 삼샤바나 아니 때 냠도 그래서.
So like the Mahayana thought is very vast, right? It's very courageous mind. It's a very courageous mind, to say that I want to lead all sentient beings to the state of full enlightenment. That's very courageous mind. And some people say that's impossible. There's no way you can do that. So by thinking like that, you might give up, Mahayana.
오케이.
by the middling path of accumulation, you can't go back to the lower vehicles, right?
가서로.
다 처럼 딩네 마차야 말아서 그래서. 정신 처럼 딩네. 다텐
야.
처럼 딩네.
저는 중은에 중은 되네. 라던 딜라로 그래. 된 마사야 말이야.
Yeah, that's true.
데려다 강제 다 텔레 뉴스 담바 아니 다때
The sosola tembe nishu. Randa so Shenla Nigola Tembe, Ram Shenla Tembe.
주변 같이 하라던 분이 당바지.
아니 Shenla Tembe, Shenla Tembe sum.
아니 되게 맞아 왔음지. 아니 방방다 셴나 냉글이 좀 왔다 셔봐. 대화냠지 단 두루 나라 단 디나한테 저들 디나라 찾아요. 단 디나 계시던 게 마모시고 돼. 두두니 코시에스 게임다. 아니 저도 고사 말스러워.
So I mean, it would be good to refer to the study guide that Jen mentioned. So that will explain all this. Of course, there's one in the commentary, but to go through that all, it'll take long time and also will be difficult to understand.
이제 근데 뭐라다 고서 민가한테 뭐라 되어스러워. 근데 니나라 가르나 담보 녹스티 마제 티 질라야 아는 저거다 스티어스. 티 질랑도 쳤어요레스. 디 누나라
아무것도 안 되는 데가 된서 말이야.
놀래시 대출이죠.
그렇지.
담보 도치.
되네. 데가 된서. 데가 된서 데 먼저 그냥 데가 말이야.
그래더라.
라, 데가.
말마. 우도지는 데가 된다. 안데 데가 되는 거. 제다 담보 도치. 되는 우도지. 되는 데가 스티어레스.
Yeah, so in the fourth chapter of the Ornament of Clear Realization, the text on the fourth chapter, in the commentary written by Chokyi Gyaltsen, and on that fourth chapter, that it explains all in great detail, in all great detail. So, but Chokyi Gyaltsen doesn't just give the commentary by himself. He bases on sutra first, and then to the Ornament of Clear Realization, and then to the clear meaning by Haribandra. So based on those texts, and then he will give his own explanation.
가지 아니 답 미자도 아니 리진행이다 아니 샘진행이냐 지기자는 맛이 그랬던 되게 발전 거래서.
And so anyway, so like I mentioned earlier, based on one's body, and one's mind.
다가나지 아니 대체래만 냠줘야겠죠. 아니 다 냉을 넣어서 가지 리지고는 깔리자마도 로종처럼 깔리자마도 아니 리진행이래서. 샘진은 삶을 땅마도 샘진행이래서.
The faults of the body, is that not being able to work hard with the body, and the faults of the mind is, not being able to meditate, or contemplate, and single-pointedly, and so forth.
뭐라고? 다 나중에 네 배나 아니 대체래만 냠줘야 jel라 뉘셔 그래서 잠깐로 마시나.
And then there are also like like mentioned about degenerating, from Mahayana. There are 7 causes that causes one to degenerate from Mahayana.
저런 두스치나 반냠줘는 내리지나 냠줘 그래서 하는 거로.
So just like you guys gave example, this also mentioned about if you do this, you will be degenerated from the Mahayana. If you do that, you'll be degenerated from Mahayana.
다 나중에 아니 대체래 이위 jel라 아니 제트샤 그래서.
And then like that also there are the 8 distractions from the Mahayana.
아니 대제 아니 다 소소가 개개를 때 봐야 개개기 야보 마티와 친다 야 냠줘야 아 줍시샤 그래서.
And then there are also like 14 that are based on the teacher. So if the teacher doesn't teach you exactly or correctly like it is, then you may degenerate the Mahayana.
와다 들리지는 가지 두 전에 강들을 아니 다 로종체와다 받으시게 개강에 만들어서 만드시죠.
And anyway, so this is all talking about all these the adverse conditions that prevents one from achieving application.
Okay? Yes.
So when you reach the middling path of the Mahayana path of accumulation, you can no longer abandon bodhicitta.
그렇죠.
사람 딩네 되네 장주섬 야야마나.
되냐요 말스.
That's right.
가르나 너도 샘제데스 디제제 장초고 샘데 세다 왔어지 봐. 세드 가림을 가지고 세는 고마만 제라면 대도 변수 말이에요.
So the example of that is given like a gold, It says like a bodhicitta like a gold. So once you achieve the middle level of the path of accumulation, then your bodhicitta becomes like a gold. And so the gold is gold all the time, No matter what you do, it cannot be changed. Even if you cut it or burn it, gold will still remain gold. So therefore, the bodhicitta at that level will always remain bodhicitta, will never be degenerated.
Okay? 다 된게 좋았지야기 아니. Yes.
Is there a being Mara, or is Mara just an embodiment of negativity?
다대 라마나 뭐 봐셔다 다 빅마라 요요레스 나도 다 개랭겨랬어. 아니 다 조조다 소소 샘기 용거로 왔어.
So the real Mara is one's mind, but there are also, the being Mara also.
그거. 배차잖아. 내가 또 돈데 투수에 저는 열어서 저도 권유 돈데 투고도세.
So have you heard about a ghost?
Yeah, they get
Ghost?
Ghost, yeah.
Have you heard about? Like, you might be attacked by a ghost, or you might see a ghost like that. Have you heard of that?
yeah, every culture.
다른가도
Every culture has.
다른가도 홀리빙도 왔어. 아메리카로 홀리빙도.
Halloween.
홀리빙도 가래.
What is Halloween?
But isn't Mara also illusion?
일루시나 가로.
That was Juma.
우리 시다 네 알로 가로 지바레스까지 랑은 줘요 말했어.
Yeah, to us everything is illusion.
야.
It's not existing from its one side anyway.
Well, I read, at least one story where Mara sort of shows up and is trying to make trouble, and in the story, as soon as the person he's speaking to realizes who it is, like when Mara realizes that she knows who he is, he's powerless and he goes away. Because he's trying to create illusion.
아, 대대 가로. 대대 저마캔도 봐라.
네, Juma.
대대 저마캔도 봐라. 대대 가로. 대남중간도 저마캔 대대 캐시 가라서. 만족이 배나 삼삼 가로 로타 마차와이나 아니 ngo네 그다 말았던 건 넣지도 그랬어. 제진 밀로타 차와이나. 당도 남비슈는 로타 차다 요래 간지 소소 남도 맞고 가서이나. 벨락. 근데 제만 못하는 간지 는 간돌다 저도 연구를 왔어. 연구였어.
Yeah, so that's a different, so but actually there are like spirits, the evil spirits or ghosts, that causes harm to people. So that's a being Mara, and then the other one is a delusion in our own mind. And
로타 차.
Longdacha.
벨락.
So and then of course it depends on your mind also. If your mind like you get scared of something, right? You see something bad, you're scared. That really brings bad to you, and you might get many obstacles through that. Like people become sick, when they get freaked out and seeing something, and then they're like kind of I don't know, soul leaving their body like that, and they feel like that, like that, and so that kind of thing can cause harm.
간지
And so if you have bad luck, and then the evil spirits can harm you better, more.
가르는 딱 뭐만 생각도 지켜내게 그래 가지. 미만도와 돈도딩이 되는 건 통고요래서. 도도 가래 딱 간도 나지 많이 받지. 뭐만 세더니 딱 간도 캐내게 요래서.
So
코란 로베 깔랑 간도 때 돈도 잡아야나. 간지 근데 가라서 남단도 올라와야나. 되게 깨지는 딱 간도 너가 되는 거요래서. 대 코란 거는 간도 너와 치고 300 저도 개 말해서 빼나. 간도 스카라 도나고 주마당도 왔어. 코란한테 조백 제대로 왔어. 된다고.
So, anyway, so these are, we talk about non-human beings, so those are the evil spirits, the spirits or evil spirits. And non-human beings, they're like a ghost, like a spirit, and then they're there, but we don't see them. They don't have a regular form like we do. But to them, they can see it, they can feel. They say, "Oh, I have a body, I have limbs and everything." They can feel like that. And when you come into contact with them, sometimes they come in the front, on the side, and you're walking towards them. You don't see that, but you get some kind of feeling. So it's like scary feeling, and at that time, if you're scared, and then that can cause harm to you.
근데 다 저도 켈랭면서 저도 원래 켈랭이라고 아주 배백이 루선 루세지 그랬어. 아니 신고 온다고 수단도 찜바다 와 있나 something도 맞대 그랬어. 다 뒤가려 갔나 아주 찜바데 비글로 세대 콜 푸로 보는 콜 맞차도 그랬어. 다 코 맞춰야 돼 자야체다 코 사야돼 르메다 지로 텔로나 코 맞하는 아주 맞아 타도 그랬어. 들리지 그랬어.
So there's it could be just a belief that Tibetans have, but we talk about nagas, so these serpents, so nagas, and they're in a place which also we don't see. They're there, but we don't see them. And sometimes, like in Tibet, there's no proper bathroom, so people will go just pee in the field or in a forest or near the tree. And if there happen to be a naga there, then that can cause like rashes on their body. And then because of that, you get the rashes too on your body. And they say the rash that you get from on your body, or the sore that you have on your body, is because of that, because of causing harm to the naga. And then then you'll be told, advised to go and make offerings to the nagas, or make like a naga medicine offerings. So there is a naga medicine offering. You offer that, and then that will cure their rashes, and then your rashes will be cured too.
근데 cancer들 이러다 하면 단 더 killing yes Jennifer.
But is this specifically referring to the four maras? Like, are there like...
Dushi. Dushi is still a
뭐 테마 드시던 치다가도 녀모도 된조 말단 네 되던 거네 전에다 샘 그대로 고르 샘 조조 샘다 다 진짜 몸을 저기로 봤어. 야. 디디 말해. 대 말해서.
No, it's not referring to that.
다 내드바나 아니 리진행을 샘빙을 빼 내가 저도 왔어. 리진행을 바나 가서 링원에 걸려자마도 샘빙원에 샘 중도 왔어. 빼다 로조체와라 파치 치자기로 봤어.
So the obstacles through our body, not being able to do the practice assiduously, and then also mind, not being able to pay attention or focus on objects, single pointedness. So those are the faults of the minds.
제가 대기지 다 되네면 안에 대실의 냠바 대실이 다 대실의 냠만인데 반에 간지 상지고 셈냠 안에 현지 때 도도다 말해서 셈주잖아 안에 상지도 냠도 그러 봤어.
So degenerate from Mahayana, or like if you degenerate bodhicitta, if you don't think about benefiting others anymore, you say, oh, that's not possible, it's not, it's impossible, I can't do that anymore, and then you degenerate bodhicitta like that.
아 다한테가 로종 지하라다 아니 냠네다 곰자라 이다 수수가 셈바이나 예리 아니 수수가 리보이나리 이 대와이나 아니 냠네 잘 빠르지로 봤어.
And like the distraction, is one of the biggest obstacle to our practice, right? So, when you are trying to do meditations or practice, if your mind is distracted, you won't be able to focus. Right? So those are the faults of the mind.
다 나중에 다 개개가 그 놀조도 시간에 대학고 다 빠르지로 봤어.
And then also, if you happen to meet with a wrong teacher, and then who gives you all this wrong explanation, and then you think that's how it is, but it's not, how that are, and it's by doing that, by following that, you're not developing any qualities in your mind, and then that's the fault of the teacher.
어떤 네 갑기단다 아니 다 두저두저 그래. 아니 나도 녀모부터 치다가도 타입에 뒤뒤도 말했어.
So these are the maras here that's just talking about, right? So it's not talking about those four maras like the Devaputra Mara and the Lord of Death Mara and so forth.
제가 딘리기 나도 껴데 가대바나 단단히 사드마 맞을 때 껴들래 그래서.
And so that fall, says I'm having pronunciation problem. Prior, is it? Prior to, I would say prior. So prior to talk about the boundary, right? It says prior to entering the path, and so that's us, right? So prior to entering the path is us. So from our time till we reach the seventh ground. So seventh ground, and then from the 8, 9, 10 doesn't have that anymore.
아니 사돈바 도상을 아니 다 녀모 바자 내가 말했어 녀모도 그 세로에서 봤어.
뭐 보더라다. 이게 뭐 주었어?
저와 요 말다네.
So you have up to seventh ground, right? So then the 8, 9, 10, then you don't have it.
아니 사돈바 뭐잖아 마다 삽들라 그래. 아니 사돈바 저 다바 사슴라 그래서.
So among the 10 grounds, the first 7 grounds are called impure ground, and then the last 3 grounds are called the pure grounds.
아니 텔라야. 아니 빼지 그래서 빼나. 보고 째네 빼나 다왕가 다와 숨시나 아니 마이가 그 투마지 그랬다. 다와 되는 말 가시로. 아니 텔레 대나지게 사페나 니바 숨바 시왕가 와도 녀모 껴는 시가 제동 받아이나. 아니 나 녀모 고 바자로 투마로 되대 그래서. 아니 삭 제와 그발나네 데 투마도 올라로 그래서 요 말했어.
So they give the example of a child who's carrying the smell of a womb, like until the child is like 3, 4, 5 months old. The child will have the smell of a womb, the mother's womb, Of course, maybe nowadays here you don't have it. Maybe you have all these
Because so many chemicals.
soaps and perfumes, to spread. You don't get the mother's womb, smell of mother's womb anymore. But it says usually, like in Tibetan, it stays until like 5-6 months old. So then after that, then it goes away. So just like that, the bodhisattvas on the ground, from on the bhumi, from the first, till the seventh, they will have the smell of delusion. Even it's not like strong delusion like we do, but they still will have that smell of that delusion. And because of that smell, the slight delusions they have in their mind is called impure.
Okay, that take attention to it. That is Jumadlama and Gazosani. And in the Mata, Jolom, the Tom to this year, then don't do about the Kanda, the question of the Kanda, dig a tune the editor, Parcheta, and the keeps on the shedding to us.
So that's about it for today. And next time we'll talk about the path of accumulation and path of preparation. So anyway, so this is all talking about the false, here, and the false, and then earlier we talked about the qualities, right?
Okay, any questions? Yes.
I just have a general question. So, what kind of background do people have in the monastery when they study this text? Have you
Yeah.
studied a lot of other things beforehand? It seems like you need a lot of really knowledge to really understand this.
When I'm going to Serendroina, Shidanta Dramatis, when a Gilubi Gombaina, Tambo thing of Diratagris, Dira Chichum.
Moras and the Tadun, this amount of Kodores.
Ah, Komargo, Tonji, Yanjo de Tagores. Tenduji deb deres, de Tagres. Then a locajila and the Shine Yanjo de Debton got to the Tagres. Tenji Kablo could Tangadom, Sharakanga Hakomars.
So it doesn't mean that when you, in the monastery, when you study these texts, you will understand all this. It doesn't mean that. You will not have. So just like what you understand now, that's all they will understand. Maybe a little bit more because of their basic studies. Like the collected topic, there's the small, middling, and the great collected topics. So that gives a lot of information about all the terms. Maybe the terms are given there. But meaning, of course, you will not understand everything there. When you reach there, so all you want to do is know the definition and know the division. That's all. You don't want to go into a detailed meaning of each division. So that you come later when you study the text. So the class goes like that. First, the collected topic, and then the collected topic has a middling, small, middling, and then great. Once you have done that, then you go through Lori Tariq, and you go through the mind, and mental factor, and then you study about the science and the reasons, the science and reasons, and that's like very big thing about why it's like this, why it's like that. So this is that because it's like that. Like all this is. The vase is impermanent because it's a product, like that kind of thing. Science and reasonings. There's a big thing, and that once you have created that, then you go to the tenets. So after the tenets, then you study this 70 topics, and then after that, then you study the paths and grounds. So when you have
the Suki Captain May that the Yidu Karawa, Tangeji, and Samsung.
Then there's after that there are 4 texts. So after the paths and grounds, the collected topic, path and grounds, then there's 4 more texts prior to studying the first chapter of studying the Ornament of Clear Realization. That's the first chapter. So there's like the 20 sanghas. I don't know if you have heard about that. There's 20 sanghas. 20 sanghas is talk about all these the heroes, solitary realizers, bodhisattva sanghas. The actual sangha is the one who have realized emptiness directly. So it's all about superior beings, the 20 sanghas. And then there's about dependent origin, dependent arising. So there's a big, a long, detailed explanation about that. And then there is a text on the concentrations, like the 4-level concentrations, the first level, second level, and then talking about the absorptions, like the form realm absorptions and the formless realm absorptions, and all this. So there are 4 texts like that. And then after that, then you study the Ornament of Clear Realizations, the first chapter, the commentary of the first chapter by Chokyi, which is based on Haribhadara's clear meaning, right? And so when you study that,
Le
and
deux.
then you study first chapter, and then second chapter, third chapter, then when you study the fourth chapter, after 7 years of studying, and after 7 years of studying, then you will understand the meaning.
And then
So that's how you study in the monastery.
That's impressive. You just did like a zip drive.
yeah. And then 대 냠돌아야 and then 남신 이모진다.
누라코랑 로숨 좀 말해.
내가 로숨 들어.
되는 데는.
아니 로리 따르니
로리
바이 로레 저기 잘 봐지.
So the collected topic itself, study for 3 years, and then after that maybe
대코 리바장 하지 들었어.
this is just to be familiar with the terms and sharpen your mind, and then after that maybe the mind and mental factor, and the sign and the reasonings maybe for 1 year, and then after that another year for the tenets, and then 1 more year for the collected topics, and then another year for the paths and grounds.
제가 로컬 저도
And so the 4
담보변.
years. So how many years? Like about 7 years. And then you start this one.
아니 단데로 두 따고.
깜짝 뭐라.
아깝.
그래서 어떻게?
무도지 거나 깝.
받침대.
깝 제때 발신 거나 로드다 그랬어.
Yeah. So the Ornament of Clear Realization, has it has like 8 chapters, right? So it takes about 7 years to study just
걔는
that.
깝변아 시와 마체데 깝 담보 깝 시와 근데 마체 로테서 그래. 아니 깝 셴바도 따뜻해 싫어. 조금 말했어.
So other ones, maybe the other chapters are not that long. The longest one is the first one and the fourth one.
제단이나 뭐보다 다 자다 주단도 따뜻도 레레레 딴 대시자 네게 따는 내 냠도라 우도지 싸워로 대긴 레완데 다대마게 자섭지가 남신이 뭐젠 아니 지름 보지가 레시 센티 강가냠 따고르서.
And so this on so all this the complete aspect application, that's like 110 complete aspect application, and 173, right? So all this one by one, it will be explained in that text, and again based on all the commentary, Chokyi gives this commentary based on other commentaries by Lama Tsongkhapa, by Haribhadara, all this. So you have to study those too.
아니
Or
텔레
reference as a reference study, on those ones.
안 텔로 로레라 주티시 나한테 때고르서.
And then you take an exam, each year 4 or 5 exams.
안 대산에 아니 시네 오만도 그래. 오마.
And so after completing that Ornament of Clear Realization, then which we call is a Prajnaparamita, is a perfection of wisdom, and then or perfection, right? So after that, then you go to the middle way,
And then Loma-
the Madhyamika,
아니 오마로 시다 그랬어.
and then Madhyamika study for 4 years.
아 디지 바진 뇌로 시다. 바이 너발로 시 뇌로니나.
Loninire,
바이로니나.
loninire.
아니 너발로니 뇌로니다.
Yeah. So after that, then 2 year of study on Abhisamayalamkara, phenomenology, and then 2 years on the Vinaya, and then you become Geshe.
아니 디가 빠라빠라라 아니 로타발라
Then
남제
you can sit on the throne.
아니 디질이야 디 아니 로타발라 남제 로레다 그래 나오레다 그랬어.
No, of course, there's the general discipline, of course,
Yeah,
at
make
the
it
beginning,
enjoy.
but it's the more detail, and like 253 vows, of the full ordained monk. What are they? So then it will be explained, in that. It doesn't explain in the beginning,
제가 오면 하나다 따와도 그래 따와도 그래 미시 그랬어.
And then the Madhyamika, the middle way, it all explains about the view.
아니 저기 나라다 아니 빼나 가지고 뇌가 이때 가르쳐 봐 주지 샘제 가르쳐 어떤 누가 이때 차서 제 그랬어.
So Abhisamayalamkara, or the phenomenology, we call it. So it's all about phenomena and how the world come into existence, and all these things, and how things are created. And all that.
제가 단단 트리페 시다도 전이 이제 빼 나오는 거 살았어.
And so how things are, created, like the technologies, the electricity, all these things, talks about in the phenomenology, in the Abhisamayalamkara. So it's very, very similar. Whatever they're doing now, it's already talked about that.
What's updated?
Yeah, how do they added science and math and everything?
Yeah.
Yet now they take, it's pretty cool. The monks take those
Correct.
subjects too, yeah.
Angzi.
알레
Sida.
근데 간조 요 말다 대사 랍다 보수 샹겨서 나도가 잠
Marmar, the zone on the Sida, this is
아 저도 티르 로 시다 다와 시다 추제 시다 쇼여스 강가시여스
So in the it talks about the mathematics, like everything, like everything is mathematics, based on mathematics. Like so, like the weather forecast and all this, right? And well, in Tibetan calendar we have this 12 months, and then each month, which is a good day, which is bad day. All these things, talks about on the calendar, right? So it teaches about all those calendar, all those maths, yeah.
아니 다 너와 나라다 아니 게로다 아니 게로마가 아니 라자 빠자카림 바티 티루자야레스 티루자나 하고 데리바다 개요 말레스
So and then in the Vinaya, it is all about the vows, right? It's all about vows. There's nothing to debate on that. So you just this is what it is. This is what it is. This is how you are, what you're allowed to do. This is what you're not allowed to do, and so forth.
아니 대산에 아니 테네다 다 계시단 거서 다들 사람 계시단 거나 테네 양조 로초를 주는 거스
Lodin,
로초
Dunigaro.
뭐래 로초라 로니니 로초라
So anyway, then you become a Geshe. So right. So after you have studied that, all that, then you can become a Geshe. But you don't get to become a Geshe right away. You have to sit in a queue. So only certain number of people can become Geshe. But if you have, you reach there, but you haven't reached that in that number of people, then you cannot become. So maybe next year, sometime you will have to wait for a couple of years to become a Geshe. And then after that is called a Haram Geshe. Haram se karata. That's done.
PhD
So
다
도도로다.
도요다래까지
하람 생각했다. 나 그래. 시커라.
다 라보자 신지로 근데 사람 사는 거지도 말 사살라야 아니 라데문음 침부 qabl tamjang 사람 것이라고 왔어 그런 되게 잘 장도
마 대더래 되나 간다 같이 로마 보자. 요직 장고처럼.
제가 이 안조간나 자와바제 군중가와는 지금 신데 고토도 딩글데 요소 말아봤어
So I don't know exact meaning of the word haram. I don't know what it
근데
is.
바지들 라데문음 침부 qabl tamjang 사람 것이지
So anyway, at that exact word for that, well, like Geshe mentioned, it's could be because of somebody being appointed, as a debater or answerer during the time of the great prayer festival in Lhasa, and therefore it's called haram. But I don't think it's exactly like that, because not necessarily that everybody has to go to that. So who become al harampa? So anyway, harampa Geshe is like the real the top Geshe who knows everything, and the reason is because of course they have to go through like very, very hard study, and like I said, we after you finish all these studies, then you can become a Geshe, and when your turn comes. But the Harampa Geshe will go back to all the way to the beginning again, and then study everything, revise everything, from the beginning and until the end for next like 6-7 years. So they have to go through everything, and so when you become, then after that you can become a, of course you have to take a test and all this, then you become a Harampa Geshe. So when you're a Harampa Geshe, you're expected, or people will think that you know everything. So whatever you ask all these questions, they will be able to tell you.
오케이 다 데이터 가도 공부 냠내지 로조체다 뜨소리 내가 내 전화도 샘주 차고 뭐 내려고 말했어
So that, to become a Haram Geshe, will take like 20 over years. So this is something that monastery monks study all the very hard, and for you just spending few hours or a couple of minutes a week, don't expect to understand everything. So don't be discouraged.
파시 안조 파시 자와도 파시 로좁제 파시 타는 거 그런가 로좀 메시지에 로좁제 안에서 로좁는 파시 타는 거 그래서 안에 테네 로실 로콘 계시 당도
So so the regular monks to finish everything takes about 18 years, and then if you want to become Harampa Geshe, 6-7 more years on top of that. So nuns Geshe, let's say maybe 17 years.
17 years
17.
yeah
So
then
nuns are smarter.
Well, they have more vows, right?
then Yeah.
They do it more than
Low 15 chi, and then yanju low shela juten orders.
So they finish, the study in 17 years, and then they go for exam for 4 years, next 4 years.
And then that gives master tongue yores.
Then they become Geshe.
That the Gilung rotan is Gilung rotan.
That's according to the Gelug tradition.
And Geshe said the Gilung machi shambari tanyo mares.
Yeah, the Geshe, the term Geshe is only in Gelug tradition. Other traditions like Satya, Kagyu and Nyingma don't have the Geshe.
And Konsosana, Kembo da, and Lama da, Lovens like this.
And they have a Kempo, like an abbot, but not really an abbot, it's a Kempo. It's a different meaning, the abbot and the Kempo has a different meaning. And then they have a Lama, like Lopen, like that, a master.
And then Losum, Dasum, Samadevana, and Kudu Lamas in Mitagar Machi.
So if you have done a retreat for 3 years, 3 months, and 3 days, then you become a Lama.
And the Geshe that the Lovens and that Juji Kabunga the localization, and Tanani Kudu, Kembo and Mitaya, the Rivers.
And then, so then you have, the studies to do. Once you have completed that study, then you become an abbot. So yeah, it's just the different terms, used by different tradition, for the master. But the study wise, I think has to be done in the same way.
Okay, this is a long story.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I think maybe we can skip homework today. Then we do next
Bring
week.
next time.
Next week, yes.
How many years did you become Geshe?
I think 18 years.
18?
I was John Monastery 1990. I become Geshe 2008 or 9.
We took a break. You came here.
Yeah, I didn't break because I have to. When I go, I stay just 2 months here. I go back to. I take exam there. I didn't break. I think I 2009. How many years?
I think it was 2009.
Yeah. Low.
But you became a Geshe?
Yeah. From 90 to 2008, how many? 2009, 19 years. 18 years. Like that. Yeah, in monastery you cannot take that karo. Tibetan message ayo maro.
I'm gonna take a break.
Yeah, there's no place to take break. Yeah.
No breaks allowed.
Yeah, if you take break, you lost your class. You have to go karo. You have to go there.
So it's interesting that they only allow a certain number of geshes, so is that based, what's that all about?
The Geshe Daya there, so to Google, Lamsa, Lobson San Lamsa, Geshe Dang Choy Yamana.
영어요, 대용어스.
Tandakarinas.
가서야 마보셔요. 그 마보 다른 냠도 마보셔야 다 좀 돼. 그래야 합니다. 근데
There
가서
will be too many Geshes then.
maybe one time 좀 되게.
A bit crowded,
So, yeah, I was thinking like, say, the class of 2019, like in a high school, and you have like a big population.
Yeah, we don't do like that. Yeah, we don't do like that. Like my class, we have like when we start, we have 156 monks.
For year one.
Fourth year.
How many finished?
I think maybe Geshe like maybe 60 or 70. Yeah, the more than half gone.
They left the monastery or just left the Geshe program?
Most left monastery. Even the Neo, a lot of my classmates there. Yeah, some people die, some people go back to Tibetan, and some people sick. So many different conditions. Some distro monk. Yeah,
Just don't want to do.
yeah, don't want to do also. Yeah, like that. All different conditions. It's not easy. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next slide.
Yeah, even this is good. This is good for inference for our mind. Study that.
Okay, on page 39 for Thanksgiving Mandala offering. Saji Purti Shuji Me Tang Chang Ri Rab Ling Ji Ne Yem Gen Pa Di Sangye Jing Du Mi Ke Ua Ki Zhou Hu Nang Dang Xing Na Chu Fa Shou Jie Su Nam Me Su Xing Rab Chen Chen Nam Zhao Qin Qin Chu Ri Gen Pe Jing Mang Zhang Xing Fu Sa Sung Gi Zhou Mai Mung Zhou Sen Fen Kya Chu Qi Yi Dam Gu Du Rat Mandala Kan Ye Ya Tai Han Mi page 43 for Long Life Prayer for His Holiness. In that snow mountain encircled land, source of every benefit and joy, may Lord Tenzin Gyatso Chenrei Zig remain in life till samsara's end. Page 57. Through this virtue may I swiftly, having gained Buddha state, place each and every sentient being without exception in that state. Precious supreme Bodhi mind, may it where unborn arise, and where born never decline, but increase forevermore. Migmete weter chen raising, dream kempe wampo jumpe young. Yang Chen Kepe Sun Gen Song Kapa Lo San Trape Jada
Thank you.
Just a couple of announcements. There's no class next week. We have Lama Shoka Guru Puja on Wednesday, next Wednesday. And if people are able to stay and help clean up and take down the water bowls and